What is up, guys? I'm out here in Table Mountain National Park, busy seeing what we can turn up. We're actually looking for Table Mountain ghost frog, which is a pretty much highly localized endemic frog, only found in a few sort of streams along the mountain. Just to give you an idea of sort of the habitat we're looking in. Yeah, they tend to favor these like tight rock cracks and crevices on the moist sort of riverside here. But yeah, I'm going to be torching a couple, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to show you once to turn a couple up. Cool, so I've just seen the first ghost frog of today. Let's see if you can spot him in this little crack down here. See if I can get in there. And there you can see he's just lying in between the moss there. Yeah, I'm not going to try to get him out because he's really small and I don't really want to mess with them too much. But hopefully you can find some big ones and I can give you guys a decent look at what they look like. All of my efforts of getting video of either two of these ghost frogs totally failed. So here are just some stills of two. So this is actually a totally unexpected find. While looking for the ghost frogs, I stumbled upon this Cape Peninsula moss frog. As you can see, they're super tiny, so it was really hard to get footage. Cool, so we're just heading up back from where we were in the little forest and river section looking up for the ghost frogs. And we just got this many-spotted reed snake crossing the path, which is crazy because they're super uncommon. You don't see a lot of them. But he's super bitey. You can see I'm leaking fluid all over there on those fingers. But yeah, I'll try put him on the ground just so you can have a better look at him because the light is pretty bad. But yeah, super stoked. This has pretty much made the whole weekend or even the trip today. So let's check it out. So here's just a better look at the many-spotted reed snake. They're extremely sort of skittish snakes, so he doesn't sit still for too long. But yeah, it's kind of strange. On the way up, Oliver and I were just talking about reed snakes and how I'd only seen, like, this is only my third specimen that I've ever seen. So yeah, kind of crazy that we got this guy just sitting in the path because they aren't really common at all. Outside of the Western Cape, in the Eastern Cape and in KwaZulu-Natal, they also come in a uniform green sort of phase or form is probably the better way to describe it. But yeah, these guys are rear fanged, they are venomous, but not dangerous at all. It sort of has bitten us a couple times and, you know, there's no sort of ill effects. But yeah, we're pretty much done with this guy and we're gonna let him go and sort of keep on. I think we're pretty much all done at this spot. So that's pretty much all of it from the spotted reed snake. And there he goes. Yeah, he sat still for a while, but he's all good. I don't know if you can see that, but right on the horizon there's a big out of control fire in Newlands Forest, so that's not good news. But yeah, I've just been herping, looking for some stuff. Gonna see if we can't turn up any chameleons in the restios and some of these bushes, flip some logs and see what we're going to get after. So all over this sort of plantation, they've got these crazy little stacks of wood, which I'm pretty sure are just accelerants for fires. Cool, just got this really nice western leopard toad. You can see he's got really nice yellow and sort of maroon markings on the dorsal there. These guys are actually critically endangered due to sort of habitat loss and fragmentation, particularly when it comes to their breeding season. When they move from one sort of area to another to spawn, they get sort of destroyed by cars. But yeah, I'm gonna let him go. He's gonna go back under this bark here. And yeah, you can see they're really good looking frogs, and they're one of the biggest frog species here, one of the biggest toad species here in the Western Cape, and that's the western leopard toad. Still coming through this pine plantation. It's getting pretty much way too hot now to see anything.
Cool, just to give you an idea of the habitat, sort of walking at the moment. As you can see, these are all exotic pine trees. So it's essentially just like a pine forest plantation. But there are tons of logs, yeah, from the pine trees that they sort of cut down that you can flip. It's getting a little bit too hot now, but we are gonna carry on a little bit longer and then get out of here. So I got off to a quick start at this new spot. I just turned over this rock here, got a small spotted grass snake. Really pretty colors. He's actually super cold, so he's not going to move too much. You can put him on this rock. Here's just a closer look at the spotted grass snake. I was at this spot about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and I'm pretty sure I found this exact snake. I'm going to go back and look at my pictures and just sort of confirm. But yeah, he was pretty much a rock or two over from where I found 2 of them last time and where I released them again, so it's highly likely that it is the same snake. Yeah, this is still quite a small one. They get sort of around a meter or so, so he's got a lot more to go. So hopefully we can turn up a larger one, and maybe some other cool stuff. But yeah, gonna grab a couple of photos and then let him go back under his rock. Find chameleons, and as you can see, it's pretty easy once you spot them. This is the Cape dwarf chameleon. They're really common. Actually, they're probably prolific in this reserve. You can see a good sort of 15 or 20 on any given day. Get a bit of some footage of this guy. Yeah, this is an adult male. You can see he's just sort of basking at the end of the bush here, trying to get some sun. The sun only rose probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, so he's still quite cold. But yeah, I'm not going to bother this guy. I'm just going to get a little bit more footage of him and then keep on going. So I just flipped this little boat over and I thought it could be pretty good for something, sort of hiding under there. But clearly something was. This is a big old shed from a mole snake. The mole snakes here get really large. They can get sort of just under sort of 6 foot, and they're really impressive. I'm going to try see if we can't turn one up, because they are quite common here. But I mean, you can see the size of these ventral scales. I mean, this is going to be a pretty big snake. But yeah, unfortunately what they usually do is they sort of hide amongst all this sort of like thick, dense ground cover, making them pretty difficult to spot. So I'm still just out here trying to see what else we can find. It's a little windy, it's a little cold, so it's actually quite nice herping weather. But I'm just checking out all these sort of flowering plants and all the vegetation around it, just to try and see if I can't see any more chameleons, because they are quite prolific here in this little area. Yeah, I'm gonna work these little bushes and see if I can't pick any up. So just after I ended that clip, I came back around where I was. You can see there's a female Cape dwarf chameleon just sitting right down amongst the bushes. Typically when it's pretty windy like this, they won't sit on the tops of the branches. They rather sort of buckle down and hide where it's not so windy. You can see she's not sort of bright and emerald green. As she sort of warms up in the sun, those colors will pick up. But it's actually quite a nice looking specimen. I might have seen this one before. I'm gonna have to check my records, but typically the chameleons don't move a heck of a lot, so once you find them in a certain area, you can come back time after time, provided you don't sort of pick them up and mess with them, and you can find them. I just looked outside of the camera and I saw this chameleon's eye going, and there's another one right there just hiding behind that branch. They often do this thing where, as sort of an anti-predatory method, they sort of stick behind the vegetation. You can see if you look from the top, all you really see are his his little hands, and you can't even see his tail. It's lying straight in line with the branch. So that's really cool. I'm gonna get a couple of photos of these guys, just to give you an idea. I mean, this bush is tiny, and there's the one there, and the other one is hiding right there. So I'm gonna grab a couple of photos and keep going. Here's just another video of this chameleon making its way through the bottom. You can see what I mean. They're moving through right low towards the ground at the base of the trees and the bushes when it's super windy. But yeah, this little female is actually coloring up quite nicely now that she's moving around a bit. But yeah, I'm gonna leave these guys, and hopefully you can see them again next time. There's the one at the top. You can see he's still moving. So I haven't been finding much. I'm just walking along the water's edge here, and I wasn't expecting to see much because I think there's a high level of salinity in this sort of water body. But I just flipped this little guy. This is a really tiny hatchling brown water snake. They are usually pretty common. I just wasn't expecting to see one here right along this. Like I said, it's sort of an estuarine system, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I said, they are really common, so it's nothing to write home about, but nice to add something onto the daily list. So here's just this brown water snake again. I managed to get it to sit still once I put it in the shade. Here's just a look at like a really pretty example of the clicking stream frogs also that I turned up a little bit earlier today. Some of them are just sort of brown with black speckles, and this one's actually got a really nice yellow sort of band all the way down the back with the bright orange on the side. Yeah, these guys are nothing special, but it's just a really good looking example. So I'm still getting after it along this sort of like riverbank edge here. I just flipped over this rock. I don't know if you can see, but there's loads and loads of what do you call it? Common platana, the African clawed frog they call them sometimes. Oh shucks. Come back. So I've been trying to film and sort of flip at the same time, but all I end up doing is just losing tons of frogs. But we're gonna see if there's anything else around. Otherwise I'm just gonna move on to the next spot. Oh, there you go. That's a little clicking stream frog, just sitting in his little burrow. That's obviously what the brown water snakes are primarily feeding on. But yeah, he's pretty cool. We're gonna put his rock back, carry on. So just out of Noortuk this morning, looking for some frogs. Probably turn up a couple of chameleons in this restio. As you can see, it's super thick. I actually need to get to the path because I'm not getting anywhere. Yeah. But yeah, essentially we are just checking in these restios for frogs, chameleons, and whatever else we can see. Found this dude. See arum lily frog. Beautiful, isn't it? Filming the flip. Strongylopus.
I don't want to poison him.
Loads of Afrigecko eggs there.
Yum yum yum.
And tons of ants. But besides that, nothing else.
We need these.
Oh, here's another angular tortoise. Oh, he's a slow boy turned a fast boy. And now he's stuck under this invasive vegetation. But he is slow boy, gone fast. That's where he wants to be. So we're still out here in Noordhoek. I just had to take a little walk back to my car because I wasn't expecting to see what I'm going to show you guys now. Oliver's actually up there next to the bush where I just spotted this specimen, but we're going to take a look and see what we got. So here, as you can see, what I need to go back to the car for. There's a pretty big puff adder just chilling in this bush. Gonna get a couple of in situ pics of him sitting in there because he's sitting really nicely. Then we're gonna get him out and get some full body pics.
So just as a look at that puff adder in situ, I forgot to record.